Inheritance. In today's session, we will be discussing about the inheritance concept. So, what is inheritance? Inheritance is the process of deriving a subclass from its base class. Each object inherits features from one class at each level of generalization. Uses a large hollow arrowhead to denote generalization. The arrowhead points to superclass. So, inheritance means it is the process of deriving a subclass from its base class. You are deriving a subclass from the superclass means that you are inheriting the features, you are inheriting the properties, you are inheriting the attributes from the base class to the derived class. So here in the second point, they are specifying that each object inherits features from one class at each level of generalization. So, at each level of generalization, an object inherits features from one class. So, in our last session, we discussed about a generalization. So, I have explained you. So these are called as generalization levels. So this is first level of generalization, and this is the second level of generalization. This is the third level of generalization. So at each level of generalization, each object inherits features from one class at each level of generalization. So that is what it is explained in the second point. Next, use a large hollow arrowhead to denote generalization. The arrowhead points to superclasses. So you can observe here in this diagram there is a hollow arrowhead. So hollow arrowhead it is pointing to the superclasses. So this hollow arrowhead is used to denote the generalization. This hollow arrowhead used to denote the generalization, and this arrowhead points to the superclass. So you can observe in this diagram, figure is a class. So it is having the attributes color, center position, pen thickness, pen type. Then operations are move, select, rotate, and display. So, this is a class figure. It contains many figures in it. Likewise, you can classify this figure into zero dimensional, one dimensional, and two dimensional figures. So, here dimensionality is a attribute, that is the criteria based upon which the generalization has been done. So, based on the dimensionality, the figure has been generalized into zero dimensional, one dimensional, and two dimensional classes. This is the generalization first level. It is the first level of generalization, and this dimensionality we call it as the generalization set name, which is the generalization set name. Then this is first level, whereas this is the second level of generalization. You can observe here zero dimensional class, it is generalized into a class point. Here, hollow arrowhead is pointing to the zero dimensional. So, this zero dimensional class is a super class, whereas the point class is a subclass. Similarly, in one dimensional class, orientation is the attribute, whereas scale is the operation. This hollow arrowhead is pointing to the one-dimensional class, so it is the superclass for these subclasses. That is for line, arc, and spline classes. The one-dimensional class is a superclass, and these are all the subclasses. And coming to the two-dimensional class, orientation, fill type are the attributes, and scale, fill are the operations. So two-dimensional class is pointed by hollow arrowhead, so it is a superclass, whereas polygon class and circle class are the subclasses of the superclass two-dimensional class. So these are all having a common operation, that is display operation, and based upon the dimensionality, the attributes are different. So this is how the inheritance concept can be explained. So next, in this these points refers that the word written next to the generalization line in the diagram, that is the dimensionality is a generalization set name. This is what I have explained. So before that is dimensionality is a generalization set name. It is written next to the generalization line. So this is the generalization line. So it is written next to the generalization line. So it is called as generalization set name. Then a generalization set name means what? It is an attribute, enumerated attribute that indicates which aspect of an object is being abstracted by a particular generalization. So these are all the operations. Thank you.